Welcome to Chris Cook for YouTube. Today I'm going to be doing shrimp egg foo young. Let's get started with the ingredients that you're going to need. You're going to need eggs, of course. I know I have a large amount here, but I will put the ingredients in the description box to make a smaller serving of this. You're going to need mushrooms, but the mushrooms are optional, so you don't have to use them. Bean sprouts. I'm doing shrimp, but you can use beef, pork, chicken, or you can just make egg foo young. I have cut up an onion here. Here you're going to need oyster sauce, hoisin sauce, soy sauce, beef broth, flour, and butter. So I'm going to go away, get ready to mix everything up, and I'll be right back. Now I'm back, and I've already taken my eggs and I've burst them over in this bowl, or cracked them over in the bowl. So I'm going to go ahead and blend this up. Now this is a real fast dish to make. Not a lot of time it takes in order to make this, and it only takes about 5 minutes to fry this dish up. Okay, now you serve it with rice, and I do have a pot of rice that's cooking on my stove now, and you can use any type of rice that you would prefer to use. That's fine. Now once you get your eggs all blended up, which I have mine blended up, then you're going to start to add your ingredients. Okay, that's done. So I'm going to go ahead and stir in my ingredients. This is the onion that you saw me chop up, and this is the mushrooms. Like I said, mushrooms are optional, so you don't have to use that. And I am going to use about half of these bean sprouts. Okay, that's about, I think this is a 1 pound package, so I'm using half of that. And I used an egg for every patty. You can use, if you want to make yours a little bit larger, then you can count it as an egg and a half. So in order to make 2 patties, then you would use 3 eggs. That's if you want them, just a little bit oversized. Now the only ingredients that you put in the egg foo young part is just whatever vegetables you have. In my case, I had mushrooms, I had the onions, and of course I had the bean sprouts. And since I'm doing shrimp egg foo young, then I have my shrimp that are sitting off over on the side. And what I did with the shrimp is I cut the shrimp in half, because if I cut it in half, then it won't take so long in order for me to fry it up. And you want to drain your shrimp as much as you possibly can, because you don't want that water to dilute your eggs. Okay, so I'm going to put that in, and then I'm going to mix it up. Now I'm going to fry this up with about an inch of cooking oil. You can use whatever type you want. I'm going to use vegetable oil. And this is all the ingredients that you're going to need. Now you don't need to add salt or anything like that, or any other seasonings, because you're going to add that in your gravy that goes over your egg foo young. Okay. Now all of this is mixed up well. That's all you do. And I'm going to meet you at the stove. Be right back. Okay, now I have about an inch full of grease over my skillet. You can see how much it is, and that's just to fry up my patties. And the reason why I'm using this big spoon is because I'm going to use it to help me measure what I'm putting inside of this skillet. Okay, now I'm going to put 2 patties down over in the skillet. Now I could have used a larger skillet, but this one is fine. And that's it. And all you do is just wait for it to cook up. And then once it cooks up, you flip it over. Now in this back pot here, I do have my rice that's cooking in the back. And for those of you who don't know how to cook rice, the ratio for rice is 2 to 1. So that means for every 1 cup of rice, you use 2 cups of water. So if you have 3 cups of rice, then you're going to use 6 cups of water. You have 1 cup of rice, you're going to use 2 cups of water. What you do is after you've washed your rice and you have your rice on, you allow it to come up to a boil. That takes about 15 minutes. Once it comes up to a boil, I just want to turn this up just a little bit. Okay, once it comes up to a boil, you're going to turn your stove on low for 15 minutes. You're going to tilt your pot top at that time. Once it goes on low, you're going to leave it there for 15 minutes, and then you're going to put the top all the way on the pot, and you're going to cut it off and allow it to sit 15 minutes before you take the top off, and you're ready to cook it. And I'm sorry, you're ready to eat it. And then you have the perfect rice. Now you want to flip these. You want to flip them a little bit better than I did that one, but there it is. And you want to do the same with here. Now it doesn't really matter what size skillet you use, but that's the way your patties are supposed to form, and that's the way they're supposed to look. So I'm going to do 2 more once I get through with this, and then I'm going to go away and finish up all of making the patties. Once I get them all made, then I'm going to bring you back, and I'm going to show you how to make the delicious sauce that goes on top of that. Remember, this is a 5-minute dish. It's very easy, but it's extremely, extremely tasty. And I think that if you try this dish, you are truly, truly going to enjoy it. So we'll get these out, and I'll do 2 more. It's real simple, real easy to make. Move that one over, take this one out. Now that egg that I have in there, I'm just going to go ahead and leave it and use it for the next patty. Now, if your patties touch like that, like mine did, don't worry about it. Okay? Just bring it back over. There you go. Make certain that your grease is hot enough. You don't want it to be lukewarm. You want it to be hot enough, whereas it would fry up the eggs and the patties. And that will prevent them from spreading all over your skillet. So once they have cooked enough on one side, which is approximately about 2, maybe 2.5 minutes, then you're going to flip them so that they can cook on the other side. Alright, very easy thing to do. And then you're going to fry them up on that side. Then you'll take them out. Now I'm going to continue to cook this until I get done. And I have quite a few to do because, you know, I do have a large family. So what I'm going to do is once I finish these all up, then I'll bring you back and we'll move to the next step, which will be making the sauce that goes over your shrimp egg foo young. Be right back. Okay, now I'm back and I'm ready to make the sauce. This is 6 tablespoons of butter, and like I told you, I'm making a lot. You won't make as much. Now once your butter has melted, which mine has, then you're going to go ahead and add, you're making like a roux, so you're going to add the same amount of flour, which is 6 tablespoons. So if you was using 3 tablespoons of butter, then you would use 3 tablespoons of flour. Okay, there. And again, you're making like a roux. So what you want to do at this point is you just want to cook the flour. Now this is real simple to make, and I showed you the ingredients. I have my hoisin sauce along with my beef broth, and I have my oyster sauce along with the flour and butter, and of course I'm going to add some soy sauce. My patties are made, as you can see, in the back, and I have quite a few of them. Again, you won't have as many as I have. Turn my stove up just a little bit, but I'm making a large amount. Now once the butter and the flour has blended well together, and you don't see any lumps, like I don't see any lumps in this, see? There's no lumps. You may see a few bubbles, but there's no lumps in it. Then you're going to go ahead and add your beef broth to this. Now, this makes the better gravy, so I'm using the beef broth. And I'm going to add probably about 3 cups of it, because I had so much flour that I put in. So that's 1 cup that I've already added. I'm going to add another cup of beef broth and the last one. So actually what I did is, for every 2 tablespoons of flour, it was 2 tablespoons of butter, and it was 1 cup of beef broth. So that's 2 to 1. Now this is going to come back up to a boil, and as you know, with any roux, it's just gonna, or any gravies that you're actually making, it's just gonna make a thick gravy once it has boiled. So it's at this point that I'm going to go ahead and add my hoisin sauce and my oyster sauce. Now, this is 1/4 cup of hoisin, and it's a little over 1/2 cup of oyster, and you want to add more oyster than you do hoisin. Okay. You want a darker, richer sauce. And you're going to stir that in. Going to blend that up. And then I'm going to add maybe about 3 tablespoons of my soy sauce. Now this is going to make a very good sauce. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit here and stir it for a little while until it thickens back up. And then once it thickens back up, I'm going to bring you back and I'm going to put this all together. And as you can see, my sauce is the right color and it's blending up nice. And you don't want to boil it. You don't want to cook it too fast. Like a low simmering boil, that's just about good enough. So I'm going to let this cook for a little while and I'll bring you right back. Okay, I'm back and I just want to show you what the sauce looks like. Look, it coats the spoon real well. And I have my rice here on the plate and I did use a beef flavored rice, so that's why it looks a little bit darker. So I'm just going to spread a little bit of the sauce over it. And I'm going to add 2 of these patties on top. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the sauce on top. Okay. Clean that plate up a little bit. There you have it. Sprinkle just a little bit of onions there. Okay. There you have it. This is a very simple recipe. I think that if you tried it, you are truly going to enjoy it. It is flavorful rice, and of course, we made shrimp egg foo young. Okay? Real simple, real quick, real fast. If you try it, I think you're truly going to like it. And as always, thank you for watching. Chris Cook for you too. Bye.